We have to do an introduction for the actual show, so here we go.
Let's go now. Normal. Now
all right, we'll go normal. We'll go back to normal. All right.
Here we go.
All right, everybody. Now we want to welcome to the Jimmy Star Show with Ron Russell, the super talented Mr. John Carroll Lynch. I'm going to do it again. I had to breathe. I can't help it. All right, we're going to try one more time. We just like to have fun, so here we go. All right, everybody, we want to welcome to the Jimmy Star Show with Ron Russell, the super talented Mr. John Carroll Lynch. Hello, and welcome to the show.
Thank you very much. Nice to meet you both.
Before we get started, I'm going to introduce you to everybody, starting off with our cool, outrageous man about town, Mr. Ron Russell.
Hey, I'm the one that hunts everybody down. So now that I'm going to hunt you down, I'll catch you on Robertson Boulevard at the Ivy.
He lives in New York, I think.
In New York. I'll catch you in one of the New York watering holes. And then I come up to you and I do a quick interview, a street interview. I love them.
Like Billy on the street. There you go. Yeah. So then we've got the man behind the boards, Mr. Chad Murphy.
Mr. Lynch, welcome to the show, sir.
Hello, Chad. How are you?
I'm doing well. Good to have you.
Sorry.
And then we have a chat room full of people. Everybody's typing in, this guy is awesome. So say hello to everybody in the chat room.
Get the best.
Hello, chat room.
There you go.
Now, John, if I should pop up into, say, O'Hara's or someplace to interview you, what if you're with your girlfriend?
He's got a wife.
I know. Well, what about what if you're with your girlfriend?
That would be awkward.
So I would have to be a real cool guy and turn the other way and say she's your secretary or governess.
That's my governess. That would be great.
Your governess. Even though she's got on no panties and a tight skirt and a push-up bra, and she's the hottest chick you ever saw. That's okay.
Wow, you have quite an imagination.
Yes, he does.
That's why they call me the crazy one.
That's why they call him the crazy one.
I have to make me louder.
So no, over there on the left, that's your earphones. So here's what I want to do real quick before we get started. I have two things. First of all, I have to show you this because one of the cool things that I like to do, I don't know if you'll think it's cool, but I think it's cool, is I like to collect action figures of everybody who's been on the show, except that I already had your action figure before you got on the show. And so I'm showing everybody that if you like John Carroll Lynch and you liked American Horror Story, you got to get his action figure. So here we got him as Twisty the Clown. And we got the little Funko one too. And then there's a bunch of other ones on, but they were like really expensive, so I didn't buy them yet. I don't know if you've seen like the special edition, limited edition ones. There's a limited edition one, but it was like $200, and I was like, I'm not feeling it yet, but but probably now that you've been on the show, I'm going to be feeling it. But everybody needs to get it.
And just for general interest, I was up for that part, and I got it. No, I did get it before John got it. And then what's her name was smoking, and I said I refuse to work on a set where anybody smokes.
Oh, you're talking about Jessica Lange?
Jessica Lange, who I love. I love her. I could kiss her to death all day. And I said, I'm sorry, Jess. But
it's a tricky business.
Well, they called you. They got John on. I said, "Oh, you got John? That's okay. He comes easy, right? I'm very expensive." They said, "We know. We got John for half of what we were paying you." I said, "Okay, tell Jess to get rid of the cigarettes, and I'll do the film." They wouldn't let me do it. They wanted you. I don't know why.
Yeah.
I have no idea.
The next
story. Good storyteller.
Meanwhile, you are such a fabulous. No kidding around. No, I do serious. I really like your work. I know that sounds like bullshit or smoke up your ass, but it's not. You're a very, very durable actor. Do you know what durable means?
Yes, I understand what the word means. In this context, I'm a little tricky. It's a little tricky.
Well, durable means you can take on something that maybe is not the best and turn it into something that becomes durable, lasts a long time, like the thing that Jimmy just showed you.
I'm a horror movie fan. I have to say I'm a horror movie fan. I'm a fan of all your work, but like your horror movie stuff I've always liked a lot. I thought even though you only had one episode on The Walking Dead, I thought it was such a pivotal episode in the whole story of everything, and you were fabulous in it. That's actually, I was watching that, and that's actually what got me to contact you, as I had seen that. And then I went through your resume to see, because I'm a huge Ted fan.
Yeah.
I love Ted, and the fact that
up a little bit. Yeah.
Oh, I'm in Ted, and when you were in Ted too, like I freaking loved it, and it's funny because we have Patrick Warburton coming on like next week for the Christmas show.
Yeah.
And Ted was awesome.
How'd you like working on that? That had to be very tricky with the little guy talking and stuff. I mean, how'd they do that? I know.
Well, they have it really down. They have that particular group of people has that down really well. And what's great about working on that set with Seth is he's acting with you off screen. So he's at the monitor directing, but he's also acting via mic. He's really good at it. It's a very easy process. I've been through movies where they do that CGI character, and it's very delicate work, a lot of technical issues. But in that, they seem to have it down. You don't need to do it as many times with as many variations. They do a great job.
After about 20 minutes, it's so believable, you forget that it's CGI, and you really think that this thing is alive and talking. And everybody said, "Yeah, I'd like it for a friend." And that's a tribute to the way in which they do it and to the actors who they choose. They do a really great job with it. And Seth being there and being live acting with you helps a lot.
Absolutely. And he's such a talent. I freaking love him. So here's another thing I like to do, because most of the time when the celebrities that we have come on the show, they're not as braggadocious as I am. And so I made a list, which I had to stop on this list because my hand got tired of writing.
Wait, back it up. He said 53 films. He's full of crap. You did more than 53 films. Come on, give me a break.
Okay, well, don't worry about it. You can figure it out later. You can go on IMDb.
You have about 200 there.
Well, when you add 180 episodes or 110 or 40 episodes of something, maybe that changes it. But what I like to do, though, is I like to make a list of impressive people that you've had been able to work with. And your list is so long it's not even funny. And I'm sure there's a zillion that I missed. I just wrote down a bunch real quick. So that way all the listeners watching and listening can be think how cool it is, just like we do, how cool it is that you've worked with all these superstars and what a career you've had. So here we go, everybody. Check it out. Michael Keaton, Linda Cardinelli, Patrick Wilson, Laura Dern, Dennis O'Hare, Leonardo DiCaprio, Natalie Portman, John Hurt, Jamie Bell, Jennifer Garner, Jessica Lange, Kathy Bates, Clint Eastwood, Mark Ruffalo, Jake Gyllenhaal, Steve Carell, Ryan Gosling, Julianne Moore, Emma Stone, Marissa Tomei, Martin Scorsese, Frances McDormand, David Fincher, Seth MacFarlane, which we were just talking about, Reese Witherspoon, Sofia Vergara, Bruce Willis, Vince Vaughn, Catherine Zeta-Jones, Simon Pegg, Ben Kingsley, Benicio del Toro, William Macy, Halle Berry, Jennifer Aniston, Steve Buscemi, Michelle Williams, and David Duchovny, and that's just some of them. And dude, congratulations.
And soon to work with Ron Russell. But they're all very good names. They're starting off in the business. They may amount to something.
Let's hope they can find their way.
I mean, they're really trying so hard to make it in the business. I don't think half of them will, but you did.
What a way! I mean, So, do you have something that was your favorite thing that you've done? Maybe a favorite TV thing or a favorite movie thing that's you're oh my God, this is the greatest thing ever.
Oh, that's a hard question, Jim.
It's funny. I mean, I've worked with all those people, and it's all been fun. But the one that freaked me out, there are two people that freaked me out the most, honestly.
Okay.
One was I was on the Drew Carey Show playing Drew's brother, and Kathy Lee Gifford came on, and this was at the height of Regis and Kathy Lee, and she walked on, and I walked on the set, and I shook her hand, and I was like, no, I can't be. This person can't be in 3 dimensions in front of me.
That's Kathy Lee.
There has to be a screen between us. There has to be a screen. It doesn't seem right. This doesn't seem real. It never dawned on me that was going to happen. That particular encounter was going to happen. And then another one.
Tipped you off that she's a bitch. You didn't get tipped. I can say it because I know Kathy Lee from Connecticut. Lara Spencer, my daughter's best friend that grew up from Good Morning America, knows Kathy Lee very well and had a dinner party. And I'm not saying anything else.
Okay, don't say anything else.
I don't want to get.
Which, by the way, I have to say I never really watched the Drew Carey Show back in the day when you were on it, but I did watch a couple episodes when I knew you were coming on because you play the cross-dressing brother, and I just wanted to see what you look like.
Oh, go away. Go away.
Which, like me, you're not the most beautiful woman. I hate to tell you.
No, but he still wears women's panties. I bet.
Don't we all?
Why not?
Yeah, don't we all?
Of course. Jimmy and I are married, by the way. We're gay, in case you didn't get it yet. And we're legally married. We're the first gay married couple to have a talk show and the -- talk show in the country. I'm happy to say. So fruits in, man. Fruits in.
And the other experience like that was I was on a plane going to Alaska, to
in drag?
Vancouver. to Vancouver. No, I think I was wearing men's clothes. Let me remember. Yeah.
Did you dress like a pilot?
I was on the plane and sitting there in my seat, and a person said, "Yeah, I'm in the window seat." And I said, "Oh, okay." And I stood up, and it was Kato Kalin, and that too was a person I was like, "Wow, I never imagined I'd ever meet Kato Kalin." But there he was. Had a lovely chat on our way up to Vancouver.
I wouldn't tell anyone if I met Cato. I'd be ashamed. For $10, what he did to OJ was a sin. Well, you know, he was full of shit, and they paid him good, and he said what they wanted to. They fixed that whole case. OJ definitely killed his wife. Everybody. I mean, listen, I know the same thing about Marilyn Monroe. Jane Russell was my dearest friend in the world. Jane and I hung out. That's how I got my name, the real Jane Russell. And I asked Jane once, I said, did they really kill Marilyn Monroe? She said, the Kennedys and the Mafia definitely killed Marilyn Monroe. And they got away with it by saying it was an overdose. Same thing with OJ. They said he didn't do it. Come on, he did it. Please.
Anyway, since that's all like
water
opinion,
under the bridge.
It's opinions.
But anyway, getting back to Kathy Lee.
No, don't go back to Kathy Lee.
I like Kathy Lee. I really do. I mean, I like when you meet her. And she said, hi, I'm Kathy Lee. I have a child. My husband cheats. And I do this and I do it. She goes on and on for an hour giving you her credits and her film credits and her bra size, her shoe size, you know, how often she likes to have orgasm. She does all that. It's a little bit of liquor.
Okay.
Kathy Lee, you know I love you, darling.
She seems to drink a lot of wine.
She's really very nice, by the way.
She seems to drink a lot of what?
Everything.
White wine on her show.
Okay. On her. Yes, on the show. You're right.
But meanwhile, let me tell you something. She was with ABC forever and ever, and I met her a few times in the studio, and she was she ran the show, and best not say anything to her contrary to what she says because you will be kicked out, and that's not a good way to be. You know, Joan Crawford.
We should explain something to him, first of all, because he doesn't know anything about you. He had a show
the best
on Time Warner Cable called Set the Record Straight for 4 years in L.A., where he interviewed all the legends of Hollywood. So he's like if he watches Turner Classic Movies, he knows all the people and he knows everything about every movie. He knows every movie.
But every major, from Cliff Robertson down to Jane Russell to everybody. I mean,
it's amazing.
Lauren Bacall. I've interviewed all the major stars of Hollywood. Of course, not crazy like this. A little fun, but not quite this crazy.
Got it.
So anyway,
normal.
all the chains have been released now, and you're free to be yourself.
That's right. At 76, he gets to do whatever he wants.
I'm 76 years old, and it's fuck you. I say do what I want. And if he fires me, I divorce him. That's all. I get alimony, and I'm happy.
You heard it.
You know. Anyway, who played Joan Crawford in Mommy Dearest? What's the face? Faye Dunaway.
Yeah.
We had we had the actor on our show who played the little boy.
He knows him. Xander Berkeley. I'm sure you know Xander Berkeley because you guys have been in shows together.
And he said on our show, he told a story that when he went to work, Faye Dunaway was getting out of her car. Faye Dunaway was getting out of her car. And he said, good morning, Faye. And she later sent word back to him, don't ever call me Faye. It's Miss whatever the fuck her name
Dunaway.
Mrs. Dunaway. And if I'm in character, I am never to be spoken to. Now, I would have said to her, John,
nice.
you hoa. Because that's all you are is a hoa lesbian. We all know that. Is that in character with you? I would have been fired off the set, but that bitch would have remembered my name till her dying day. I felt bad for that actor.
I want to go back to him now. All right, let's go back to him.
He was a kid, and he was blown away.
Xander Berkeley is a cool guy.
Oh, I love him.
He's on Twitter. Do you follow him on Twitter? He's a really nice guy. And you guys tweet a lot of the same.
How do you know him?
You guys tweet a lot of the same types of things, and so I think you guys get along good.
How do you know him?
I met at a convention recently. I met Xander at a convention recently on The Walking Dead. He's on The Walking Dead right now. He's a really wonderful actor and a really good guy.
A nice person, really nice.
Yeah, very nice.
Do you do a lot of conventions?
I have been. I'm going to be in Charlotte actually this weekend at another Walker Stalker in Charlotte, and it's an incredible experience. People are so passionate about that show and so passionate about the people on it. It's really Oh yeah, I think it's number one show in the world.
It's the number one show on television.
I used to actually, when I got started in all of this, I was a celebrity clothing designer, and when I first started, we were just radio, and I would go to those conventions, and I had dressed Elton John and Madonna and all kinds of cool people, and
he brags too.
No, it doesn't matter. Like, so I used to take racks of clothes, and I would go meet the actors and invite them to the room and give them stuff if they let me take pictures, and that's how the show actually got started, with getting a bunch of famous people at the beginning. So I just love the whole like horror genre. When The Walking Dead came out, we had like Michael Rooker and Norman Reedus and all those guys came on the show, and it was really a lot of fun. And the show has really grown and expanded. And your career, you know, like, because I see that you're doing a little bit more horror. Like, you have such a wide variety of work that you've done. I looked on your IMDb this morning, and you started out with Grumpy Old Men, which
the first thing I ever did, I got my SAG card doing a first aid film called Bleeding Control. I called 911, and a guy had cut his femoral artery with a circular saw, so he was in very bad shape. And I called 911. That was my part in the short film. I read the Red Cross. Again, the title was Bleeding Control. It's an important part of the first aid is to control the bleeding.
Yeah.
My last movie, you know, when they do the titles, they do Grocery Store Man, they do Taxi Cab Driver, they did Lousy Actor. And then my name was after that. I was playing a cop.
It was a terrible film.
It was a terrible movie.
It was the worst film ever. Do you have any dogs? Like, have you done something that you think is like a dog?
Of course.
Oh, you mean bad films?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I've done bad films. Everybody does bad films.
At the beginning.
Make good ones. Yeah.
Even Betty Davis. Betty Davis, I knew very well. She was a good buddy of mine. When she got to be an old lady. Like about 2 years before she died, when she was washed up, nobody wanted to have anything to do with her, which was the saddest thing in the world. Because to me, she's the greatest actress ever. And Betty would be very honest about things, and she'd say, I've made so many bad films. And then she named them. I said, Betty, those are all your films. You know, don't you have one you like? I said, how about Now Voyager? That's a classic, wonderful film. She said, now this, now shit, now that, because she had a dirty mouth. But anyway, she never liked any of her work, ever. She thought that the directors were inferior to her and that they didn't get out of her. And I said to her one time, I said, you're full of shit, because Betty, you were fabulous in everything you did. You're the number one actress in the world. And she said, publicity, publicity. But she was cool. If she didn't like you, run for the hills, baby. She would cut you in half in a minute.
Sure.
But if she liked you, but sometimes you have to have that sort of a personality to do good work. What do you think?
She certainly was.
Did you ever meet her?
Great. No, I never did have the opportunity. No.
She's a real like Irish broad, you know, like a drunken Irish lady. No class, nothing like in the movies where she's so sophisticated and classy. She had like permanent waved hair. She wore dungarees and sneakers, and she cursed and drank a lot. So that's how come her husband divorced her. When she was making, I'm taking this away from you.
I want to get off of that, though.
But
I know, but you talk about
likes
Betty Davis
shit.
a lot. I know, but you talk about her a lot.
You know what? My fan mail is they do love when I go back in time, because we do have seniors, by the way.
Well, let's go back in time afterwards.
I'm going to finish the story because it's an interesting story. When she was making All About Eve, she was Margot, the fabulous Margot. And her husband at the time, who was, what's his name, who played in the movie, what the hell is his name? Anyway, he married her because he loved her to death. But when he divorced her, he said, I made the mistake of marrying Margot. And my wife, Betty, is not Margot. Far from it. And he was disillusioned because he fell in love with the character, which was this high camp woman, if you know the film.
Yes, I do.
It's a great film. Anyway, people out there like to hear that.
All right, so let's go forward.
Now we go back to you.
I want to go back to him because we've got.
I gotta say, I find Betty Davis a lot more interesting. But let's move on.
No, but how did you feel about her acting? Did you think it was corny and 40s-ish or whatever?
No, it was extraordinary. It was an
She's a brilliant woman. Brilliant.
Yeah.
But did you know her in person? The opposite. The opposite of her films. Opposite.
Well, that is a testament to her acting, right?
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah. She was quite calm and quite ordinary and didn't like fanfare. Like one time, I told the story 100 times, I'll do it again. We were leaving a restaurant the mustache in Hollywood years ago, Betty and I and a few people, and every queen in the restaurant was screaming, "Miss Davis, I love you, I love you, I love you." And she said, "Of course you do, of course you do," as we were leaving, "but of course you do." And I always thought that was a star, but Betty really wasn't that way.
That's great. That's a great story.
But you should do that when people come up to you and they say, "Oh, I love your work." You just turn around and say, "Of course you do."
Yes, that'll get. I think she'll get away with it in a way that I have not quite earned that level of. Of course you do.
So first of all, everybody listening and tuning in, you can go on IMDb and type in John Carroll Lynch, and you can see all the different things that he's been in. You might not know that he's recently a director.
Yeah, I directed my first feature.
First feature film. It's called Lucky. You have a stellar cast: Harry Dean Stanton, David Lynch, Ron Livingston, Ed Begley Jr., Tom Skerritt. I know there's a lot more. I just wrote down the first ones on
Ed Begley is still alive? I thought he passed away.
No. Oh, I don't know. No.
I thought he passed away.
Alive, yeah. Ed Begley Jr. is still alive. Ed Begley
Ed Begley Jr. Oh, Jr.
Oh, Jr. Because I know.
Okay.
You didn't say Jr.
Oh, okay. I didn't say Jr. My bad.
I know Dad.
I actually didn't know there was a dad.
Ed Begley Jr.
The Academy Award winner.
Are you serious? One of the greatest. He was with Joanne Woodward.
So tell us, though, Lucky. So the name of the film is Lucky. Tell us a little bit about it.
The movie it's really an elegy to Harry Dean Stanton as an actor and as a performer. The story is about it's the spiritual journey of a 90-year-old atheist. Lives in this.
I could have played that.
Yeah, see. We'll try to get your
another role
in about 16 years. How about that?
You stole another part.
You're a little young. You're a little young
for the 90, but he said in 16 years you could do it.
You're good at that.
It'll be right. It'll be right for a remake then.
Good.
There you go.
They can wheel me off.
It's a beautiful film about a man who lives in a small Arizona town, lives a very regimented life, and his routine is upended when he falls in his kitchen. And it's really about how he kind of comes to terms with the limited amount of time he has left.
Oh, that's cool. Now, is it available? It's not available yet, right?
No, we're still in post-production on the film.
Oh, okay.
Finally, a movie that doesn't have exploding in it. Finally, a movie with a story and a plot.
There is a gunfight. There is a gunfight.
Well, they had to put that in for the idiots, the people that haven't got brains to figure out his plot.
Drives away from a bank robbery really fast with a dog in the passenger seat.
We love dogs.
Yeah, so there's a little bit of action in there.
But it sounds like it's got a story. It sounds like it has a beginning, a middle, and an end, which is a story. That's called a story.
Yeah.
So you've also.
I will definitely see this film, and I'm going to critique it because we critique film every week on our show, and I think I'm going to really like it.
So we also got. I see that you have, and now I don't know if this is out or this is coming out, but Jackie with Natalie Portman. I think you played Lyndon Baines Johnson, right?
It's out right now, as a matter of fact. It's out in New York and Los Angeles. Natalie Portman was just nominated for Golden Globe.
Yeah, Golden Globe.
I love that girl so much.
It'll have a big release then, because right now it's just in New York and LA.
I don't know when if it's I
saw the trailer.
But it's an extraordinary film, and she's devastatingly good in it. I mean, she's an amazing actor.
I love her.
I love and adore her. So if there's anything negative about her, I don't want to hear about it because I've watched.
I can't tell you anything negative. I've had the opportunity. I was in one of the first movies I was in. One of the first movies I was in was a movie that she scored in. She was wonderful. It was Beautiful Girls, and she was 15 years old. And I have had the opportunity to work with her directly as an actor twice before, and worked on 4 films that she starred in. And she is she's the goods. She's an extraordinary actor. She does
beautiful girl, gorgeous girl, beautiful face, sexy woman, beautiful actress. I adore her.
There you go. So
so
everybody need to go see Jackie then. Everybody, when it's coming out and it's available, everybody needs to see it.
And she's doing. I've read about it, and I think I saw the trailer because it sounds very familiar. And I think I saw you. You're Lyndon Johnson.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did see you. You look just like him. Good makeup.
That's very kind of you. Yes, he's.
No,
very
you did look like him. It was good makeup. Good thing you didn't have to play his wife. You'd have to have that nose put on. You trip over it.
Then you've also got The Founder with Michael Keaton, and Ron's going to hate this movie probably. Is that and
that'll be out January, I believe it's like January 20th or so. It's out in New York and Los Angeles right now for award season. Michael Keaton plays Ray Kroc, who was the franchise. He franchised the McDonald's Corporation, and I play Mac.
Do that over again because there was a breakup, and that's going to go out on the TV. So repeat what you just said. You're breaking up.
Okay, good. January 20th.
No, he's frozen.
Am I clear now?
No, yeah, you're good. You're
good. You're good now. Go.
Keep chatting until.
No, now
January 20th is when it is released. Okay, well, we'll try to get it clear in a second. It opens up.
Look at your nice smile. Okay, it opens up January 20th, everybody, and it's The Founder.
It's a very good movie. Michael Keaton's wonderful in it.
And it's about the guy who did McDonald's, which, do you eat at McDonald's? Like, he won't let me eat there anymore since we read all these bad things about it. So I used to eat it, like, all the time, and now I don't get to eat it.
Well done.
Oh, I'm going to kill myself. You're so interesting right now, and you're breaking up.
No, he's not breaking up anymore. He's back. He's not. You're just not listening.
I'm dead. I'm not listening. My corpse is... Jimmy,
so then you got... Okay, so that's two movies we got coming out.
Let's clear it up. This is the story about the guy who founded McDonald's, who created McDonald's fast food.
Franchised
it's the story
it, I think. The guy who franchised it, I guess.
Story of
and what part do you play?
McDonald's. I play one of the McDonald's brothers who created McDonald's.
Okay, and you could look like him because the McDonald brothers kind of look like you.
How do you know what the McDonald brothers look
like? Because I'm smart. Because on Facebook, the guy that does... There's a wonderful guy on my Facebook page. I wish I could remember his name. He does all about whatever. Would you believe this? Would you believe that? Every day he puts a new thing up about a movie star or a famous person, and he did a thing on McDonald's.
Oh, okay. So everybody, that's The Founder with Michael Keaton and John Carroll Lynch and a bunch of other cool people.
We have a lot of movies to see with you.
And then I want to talk a little bit about the new sci-fi show because that's more up my.
I want to talk about when we go to the movies to see him, and I stand up and I scream out, "I know him!"
He'll do that too.
They'll love that. People in New York love when you do that.
I know. Yeah, we won't get kicked out or spit on.
That will not be a problem. Not be a problem. Oh, no.
Good actor. He's a great actor. I know him. Anyway, go ahead.
So you got a new sci-fi, and it's funny because I had never seen it, and I actually saw a commercial for this last night. It's called Channel Zero. It's got Matt Bomer, who's like super cool. I don't know anything about it because I only saw the end of the commercial, but I think it starts soon.
No, Matt Bomer is not involved. I don't know what it was that you saw with Matt. I mean, I love Matt. But
really?
Yeah. The person I think you might have seen was it's interesting. Yeah, I don't know who it was that you saw actually, but it's a television show called Channel Zero, and it's an anthology series. So it's 6 episodes. Imagine a 6-episode long Twilight Zone.
That's for me, buddy. That's for me.
Oh, I don't know where I got that. You're right.
Wait, when is this on? I don't want to miss it.
It'll be on in the fall, 2017.
Who's going to remember the fall? We got to have you back to remind us. I love that.
I love it.
Anything like the Twilight Zone, that's for me. Out of space, because my family came from Mars.
Did you do something else with Matt Bomer?
Yes, Matt and I acted in a film that is also in post-production called Anything. And
I must have written it down wrong from that because I saw the I really like the sci-fi stuff.
What you did was you read the list of movies that I was supposed to be in, and this one got the part instead. That's what you read.
So the part that I played was the part that you were supposed to play was opposite.
Right. Thank you.
Opposite Matt Bomer, and I did it instead.
Matt and I are good friends. I had a mask.
Actually, his favorite is Mark Ruffalo, so like anything.
I love Mark.
And I noticed that you do a lot of films with like people, and you're in a lot of films with people in several films with them. I don't remember who the different people were, but I was like, oh my gosh, there's lots.
Mark Ruffalo is the executive producer of the movie I did with Matt.
Oh, okay.
Well, I know a lot of people who know Mark from New York.
Yeah, Mark's a tremendous.
And he's what we call an Italian bread. He's bread. Because bread is everybody loves bread. And everybody that knows Mark from the Village days, from the Actors Studio, all that crap, said he is a gem. A little weird, a little villagey nutty, but a gem. He's totally into his work.
I find Mark an extraordinary person on every level.
Absolutely. I'm trying to meet him.
I admire him deeply, but not only in terms of the way he's living his life, how he's living his life, and also the work he does, and the way in which he puts his money and his time where his mouth is. He's
absolutely. I follow him on I follow him on Twitter and retweet a lot of his stuff.
And we gay people, or the family, or what we call the gay colonies, we love him because of his outstanding work as an AIDS victim who had a lover.
Not victim. No, that was from the movie.
Wasn't he the victim? Didn't he die?
That was actually
no. Matt Bomer died.
Oh, Matt died. But anyway, his work in there, supporting him, the way he cried in the hospital, it showed that gay people have souls and hearts, and that we love just like heterosexuals love. Even this guy, I love him. I'm going to divorce him tomorrow. He gets the papers. But today I'll say I love him. It's very Hollywood.
So what about...
Every day is a choice in marriage, isn't it?
That's right.
In Hollywood, you wake up in the morning, you say to your wife, darling, I love you, on the way to the lawyer's office to sign the papers to get rid of her. So that's a Hollywood marriage.
What about, okay, so this is just like a personal question. Is Sofia Vergara is beautiful in real life, like if you're standing next to her as she is in pictures and on television? Because I think I'm gay, but I think she's absolutely gorgeous.
She's what you call a piece of ass. I'm sorry. Where I come from,
nice.
Bullshit. In Brooklyn, if she ever walked down 13th Avenue in Brooklyn, they would be screaming and whistling, woo, this piece of ass coming. Hey, Ron, look at this piece of ass. I mean, I'm gay. I'd ball her. How do you like that? She is so gorgeous and sexy.
I was trying to, because he has to be careful what he says.
He doesn't. I don't. He does. Now, make believe you were single and you were on a date with her. Would you be happy?
I gotta say, I think she's gorgeous. She's like somebody who go, that can't possibly, like you've rolled a 7 when it comes to the gene pool. It's crazy. And then her husband is also like, come on, really?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they should do porn, be a sensation.
Please.
Actually, I love him from True Blood.
On her off time from the #1 comedy in the world, she should do porn. That's a good career.
Just so the straight guys get happy. I mean, I find it interesting medically, but not really.
Yeah, and I'm a big Reese Witherspoon fan because I'm a Legally Blonde fan.
Well,
yeah,
Angelina.
She's so good. She is so good to work with. She made me laugh a lot on that movie. As did Ann Fletcher, the director. I had a lot of fun on that movie.
It's awesome.
Angelina Jolie, to me, is the most beautiful woman. If ever you saw the movie The Tourist, with what's his name?
Johnny Depp.
Johnny Depp. She was outstandingly magnificent. Quick story on that. She grew up in my house in California. I lived on Spalding. She lived on Roxbury. I lived on Spalding, and my daughter Deirdre, and she grew up together, went to school together. And when Angie was I think Deirdre was about 5, we had a big birthday party at the house, and Angie was there, and I said to Angie, when you grow up, do you want to be a movie star like your daddy? She said, I don't know. And I tell everybody, the lips are hers. Those lips were not pumped in as a young kid. Those eyes, the lips.
Yeah.
Now we moved to New York, and then we moved back to Lasky Drive in Beverly Hills. And Angie came over to see Deirdre. Angie's 15. I dropped dead. In came hips, pair of tits like you wouldn't believe, lips, eyes, face. 15, she looked like a 25-year-old sex symbol. My daughter was like an ironing board. The same age, skinny, no tits, nothing. I mean, she looked like a pole. And here is this. I said, Angie, oh my God, look at you. I was astounded. She said, why? What's wrong with me? I said, you're magnificent. Look at the body on you. So everybody out there, the tits are real, the lips are real, the face is real. Angie Voigt is the real thing. How would you like to work with that stunning actress who's great as an actress?
I would love it. I would love it.
I would too.
I've met her ex-husband.
I know John.
Ex-husband.
Oh, no, John is her father, right.
And I was in a film with her years ago called Pushing Tin.
Great movie. That's the one about the air traffic controller?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. We just saw that thing.
We saw that not too long ago.
About a couple of weeks ago, we revisited it. We watched it again.
Yeah. I like that movie.
I never miss any of her movies.
So wait, because you've already worked with the A-list who's who of everything. Is there if you had an ideal person that you haven't worked with yet, because I'm sure you're probably gonna work with them eventually. Who's the person that you're oh my gosh, they're on my bucket list. I really hope I get to do something with this person.
There's actually quite a few. Maria Bello, I think, is fierce and unapologetic. I think she's amazing. And I love people who are just never vain about their work.
Absolutely, that's a real actor.
I really appreciate that. And a person I'd love to work with again, anytime, would be Benicio del Toro, because he's an amazing person to play with. But there's there's tons of people I'd love to work with again. Elias Koteas, I'd love to work with him again. And people I watch, it's often I'm watching a movie and go, yeah, I'd really like to play with that person. That would be really fun. It's really a feeling of that you share a sensibility of what the work's supposed to be.
Right.
That you share a way, you can see the way you could play together. And that is great. And there have been many occasions in which, the founder being one of them, in which I had not met Nick Offerman, for example. I knew his work from Parks and Recreation. I didn't know his history as a theater actor. I didn't know his background at all. And when we met, we fell in perfectly together. And the dynamic between us as brothers on the first day of the shoot, which was us telling the story of how McDonald's got to be McDonald's, was it felt like we were from the same womb. It was so easy.
Important when you're an actor. So important.
I love that.
When you have that feeling that you knew them before. You brought up Benicio. I've met Benicio several times. He was going out with one of my friends. He's the shyest man in the world. Did you know that? As an actor, he's aggressive and wild, and in person, he's the shyest. He looks at the floor when he talks to you. He's very, very soft and very, very charming. But nothing. I mean, he's not like he is on screen.
I think a lot of actors actually are. I think a lot of actors off screen are actually quite.
Yeah, I said it earlier about Glenn Ford. You know who Glenn Ford was?
Yeah.
Glenn Ford, I knew also. He drank a lot, so he was in a coma most of the time from alcohol. But when he was sober, he was shy. He didn't speak. He was very, very humble. And yet on screen, he was powerful because he worked with Betty. But Betty always liked men that were weak. She would never work with Clark Gable. Because I asked her, how come you never made a film with Gable? She said, what, are you kidding? She said, nobody would know I was in the film. So she knew to get men that, well, look at George Brent was another weakling. All the men that she played opposite were weak actors. None of them were powerful. She
part of that
is Humphrey Bogart.
By design, not only from her, it's also by design in the picture, right? I mean, it's a Betty Davis film. There's
absolutely. Did you ever have that where it's a you film? It's a John film?
Well, I mean,
where they kiss your ass?
This movie I did with Matt Bomer is one in which
I can't wait to see it.
And
this is going to be a good. Everybody out there, we've got to get to see this film. It sounds sensational. You listen to Ron.
That one I hope comes together in a good way. But as far as kissing my ass, we don't have time. I have a huge ass, so we do not have time for that.
Good. That's important. That's important. But no, I meant that in the nicest way. I didn't mean it. I meant like, do they give you an onstage dressing room, or are you out in the parking lot?
Well, when you get the budget where I get to star in the movie, you stand outside around with sheets
in the gas station. No, you go. Wait, this is true. You go to a gas station bathroom. Yeah. What actress? Who was? Wait a minute. There's a story. There's an actress who did a film, and she had to change in the bathroom of a gas station. Oh my God, who is she? Ron, you remember? The film was called. Oh my God, it'll come to me.
All right. So anyway,
she's a big actress.
So I have just a statement in general, because one thing I think
Debbie
is
Reynolds. Debbie Reynolds.
Oh, you know Debbie Reynolds.
I know Debbie.
Okay.
That's how I know the story. They would think Debbie's going to tell people no, I just told on her.
You can never tell him, man.
No, you know why? Because they're cute things. Debbie wouldn't. Debbie, when you watch or hear, you don't mind.
You're frozen, so I'll wait.
Okay, we're back. Hello.
Back?
You're back. We can see you. Okay.
Hang on just a second. My friend is listening.
Okay, you can let him come in and we say hi.
We're keeping
That's
you
my
on.
friend. She's a wonderful director, Karin Kusama. She did a film I was in this year called The Invitation. It was one of the 20 best. I forget which critics list it was, but it was one of the 20 best films of 2016.
Oh, that's cool. I don't know if
we saw The Invitation. The title is familiar. Invitation.
It's about a dinner party in the Hollywood Hills and it all goes terribly.
I read it. I didn't see it, but I read about it. It's definitely on my list. I didn't know you were in it. Now for sure I'll watch it because it's up my alley.
Yeah, they think that like that the husband thinks that they're trying to kill somebody or something. Is that?
Well, I can't tell you. I mean,
don't blow the film.
He's going back to have dinner with his ex-wife and her husband, and he's going with his wife, and they're going to a dinner party. They haven't seen each other since about 3 or 4 years before, and they both share loss in the family. It'll be clear as the movie goes forward, but that's
another film everyone has to see.
The Invitation.
Now, hang on a minute. This is an actress that I'm sure you're going to want. I don't know who she is. She's new to me. The one we saw the other night, the spy woman.
She's not new.
To me, she's new. I'm an old bag. I know the old ones. I know.
Who's the girl in the Brad Pitt movie? New Brad.
Marion Cotillard.
Oh,
yeah, Marion Cotillard.
What an actress!
Oh, he loved her. He loved her.
Oh, I thought her work was phenomenal. There wasn't a flaw. She's natural. She's beautiful. She's sexy. You should work with her.
All right, then it's done. It's done.
Okay, now you just tell those producers Ron Russell said it. Now they have to do it.
Right.
Otherwise, Hollywood will turn to shit. Now, I mean, I was so impressed with her work because when I go to film, you know, I'm in the business 54 years. It's a long time to be in the business, in every part of the business. I mean, from camera to lighting, I did hair, makeup, I did everything. I swept the floors too. But anyway, when I go to film, Jimmy knows this. I don't watch a movie. I watch the CGI. I watch the camera guy. I watch the lighting. I watch the dialogue.
He pays attention to everything.
I watch every single thing in the film. And then when I critique a movie, that's how I critique it. If somebody does an outstanding job and they have 6 lines, I will compliment those 6 lines and bring to light who they are. Because Louise Rayner, who the first person to win an Academy Award, was Louise Rayner. And she won it for talking to Ziegfeld on the telephone. That was her character. And she cried. And it was a little piece of shit. Nothing in the movie. The movie was spectacular. But Louise Rayner won it because of the way she was choking and crying, talking to Ziegfeld, who was her husband.
So hang on, because we're gonna have to end this in a second.
Wait, no, I don't want him to go. I love him.
It doesn't matter. Hang on, I got.
What do you got?
We've got other people calling in.
They'll wait. It's a 2-hour show, Jimmy. He doesn't want to go. You want to go already?
No, he's gonna have to go. He's gonna have to go in a minute. Not quite yet, but I want to get to say some stuff. So
he's one of our most interesting guests.
One of the things that I want to say is really cool.
I have to say, you're one of our best interviews. You give me jerk. You give me stuff. You give me what I need. He's wonderful.
So,
you know what? Years ago, movie stars were trained on how to do an interview. They knew what they were going to say on an interview. Today, I interview people that, Cliff Robertson, the greatest actor in the world. When I interviewed him for television, he sat there and I said, so tell me about this. He wouldn't tell me anything. You know what I had to say to him? I heard your wife was a bitch. Dana Merrill. He wasn't even married to her anymore. And then I got him to talk about Joan Crawford, how she tried to seduce him when they were making Autumn Leaves. And she invited him to her bedroom where she was in a white terry cloth robe, laying there with one leg up, and you could see, Chicago. And he said his girlfriend had given him a wristwatch that rang to remind him that he had to be at an appointment. And he said it saved his virginity because Crawford was going to jump him. So, I got that out of him on the show, which was big.
But hang on, I want to go back. Okay, so you've got all the – because one thing I think is really cool about you and your career is the fact that you haven't been pigeonholed into one thing. Like you do comedy, you do drama,
come on.
you do drag, you do horror. You're really –
that's comedy or drama.
Yes, yeah, but you've been able to be in everything, and most people do not get that opportunity.
Jim, it's called acting.
I know it's called acting, and most of the people play the same character in everything that they do.
Clark Gable played
Jack Nicholson plays Jack Nicholson in every movie. Absolutely. He's the same. So
there's no actor there.
I really have to. For me, I think that there's many different. Why do we think that acting has to be the same for everybody? Some people, like for example. If you go to see Eric Clapton play the guitar, you don't go, Eric, could you play like B.B. King now?
That's true. That's true.
Right.
And
that was a standard of years ago. In the 40s, The studios would not allow you to go out of character. You had to stay character.
And the fact of the matter is that even movie stars today, the ones who are great movie stars, the ones who are really well known and really carry a picture, what they can do is they can take theme and variation to a new level. They present themselves, and you think you know what you're going to see, and then they just turn it a little bit. You know, an actor transform, if he ever wanted to, would be Denzel Washington. But Denzel Washington performs as in the same range of characters, but every time he plays, it's just a little bit, a facet, a small change. It's all really subtle work. And sometimes people don't give credit to actors who can create subtle variation and you know, say something like, for example, there are actors, an actor like that is Morgan Freeman, where Morgan Freeman will go, he'll walk on screen and go, I'm a research scientist, and in your head you go, well, you're a research scientist.
Well, we're so used to him. I mean, he's made millions of films.
Yeah,
he's in every film I go to see.
What?
Morgan is in every movie I go to see. It's almost like I wave at the screen. Hi, Morgan.
And every time, whatever he tells you he is, he is. You don't. You just
you believe it.
He's an actor.
Believe it.
What do you think of Meryl Streep?
I love Meryl Streep's work, and I think she's an amazing actor. She is someone who is paid to transform. We want her to be different people. We don't want her to be the same every time. So we want to lay our $15 to say, what is Meryl going to do next, right?
Absolutely.
What is Streep going to do next? And that's what's joyous about going to see her. I think the Florence Foster Jenkins movie, which I just saw,
loved it.
Having a ridiculously good time. I love her in that movie. She's joyous, and the movie is joyous because she is. And
we love that. You like that one?
Oh, I loved it. Are you kidding?
And
who doesn't love it?
Opposite her is Hugh Grant, and Hugh Grant has been slammed his career for playing the same character over and over again. But you know, even in the movie, they comment on that in the film, that he is an actor in the film. He plays an actor in the film, and he is disparaged for his work. He's disparaged in the movie. And he also gets to do Shakespeare, which is ironic since Hugh Grant has never been asked to do Shakespeare ever. He is an English movie star that's never been asked to do a part in a Shakespeare movie. Never? That's crazy. I mean,
I love the guy who plays the piano player too, though, in that film. That guy was incredible. I think he got a Golden Globe nomination.
You know who they get to do Shakespeare? A guy from California who's a blonde, and he played Dr. Kildare. What's his name?
Oh, Chamberlain.
Richard Chamberlain. Richard Chamberlain is one of the best Shakespearean actors around. He's fabulous as a Shakespeare. He studied in England for years, by the way.
Yeah.
Now, you know who Barbara Stanwyck is, right?
Of course.
Yeah, I love Barbara, too. In talking to Barbara once in an interview, I said to her, why is it that in every single film there's a man grabbing you, you're smacking him, and you're screaming, and you're tougher than anybody? You know what she said? That's what they pay their dollar for. Meaning the audience.
One of my favorite moments in Barbara Stanwyck's work is in Meet John Doe, when she comes out at the end and she's feverish and she's trying to stop him and she's grabbing him. Don't you understand, John?
She didn't care.
And she just passes out. She's just like, don't you know?
Yep. Well, they got away with that back then. Don't forget, Stanwyck came from Brooklyn.
Yeah, she was.
Stanwyck's name, I don't remember her real name, but it was a trashy name. It sounded like a stripper. She came from an Irish kind of family that wasn't really reputable, and she learned from all of that. I love Barbara Stanwyck.
Oh yeah.
She was royalty. She was kind. She was generous. She was the most beautiful interview, and unfortunately, we didn't have the equipment nowadays to get it from her. I got it on sound, not on picture.
Yeah.
Back then, they didn't like picture. Like so many people say to me, Ron, you know hundreds of movie stars. Oh, you have pictures of them with you. I said, what are you, crazy? Back in the 50s, you asked Grace Kelly to take a picture with you. She'd say, get the fuck out of here. They didn't do that because they weren't made
They didn't
up.
have selfies.
They weren't
look like
posed.
themselves. Yeah.
Yes.
You know what I mean? I know that from so many celebrities that I knew from those days I can't think of one name, but right now, but from the 50s.
I got to tell you.
So anyway, okay,
right
go ahead.
Right now, this is not me. I'm actually sitting across the room. This is just this guy.
Well, this is not me either. I'm usually 19 looking and dark
I look
hair.
horrible.
We forgot to put my dark wig on and give me my lens to look 19.
All right, so here's what we got to do. All right, everybody. So this is John Carroll Lynch, you guys. First of all, you can follow him on Twitter. His Twitter is Mr. JC Lynch. On Twitter, Mr. J, letter C, Lynch. Whenever his film Lucky comes out, we want everybody to check it out. Go on IMDb, watch all his work. Make sure to go to theaters.
Definitely the McDonald film.
Make sure to go to the theaters and see The Founder and Jackie. They're both going to be coming out. And Jackie, again, got a Golden Globe nomination. So congratulations for being in a film that's got a Golden Globe nomination. Congratulations on your career in general. We want to thank you for coming on the show. Anytime you have anything to promote, let us know. We'll have you back anytime. And we want everybody to get Twisty. Go get a Twisty. You probably don't make any money from it, but it's such a cool character. Everybody's got to get it.
Please help Fox Studios stay in business. Buy
Yes,
Twisty.
that's right. Buy Twisty, everybody. So there you go. And we wish you the greatest holiday ever. Have a great Christmas, New Year.
And here comes a great compliment. For a man with your character, your face, who you are, you're a very attractive, handsome man. You're nice to look at besides being a good actor. And that's an honest compliment.
I'm touched by it.
And listen to me. I'll kick the fucking shit out of you if you don't come back on this show again. You don't want to meet me in the street. I'm one tough hombre. I'll pull your hair out of your head.
I'm not going to cross you, man. I'm not going to.
Because I have to say this again. You are probably up there with the best interviews I've ever had. Most of them I have to pull my teeth to get. You were fabulous. You gave to us names. My show. This show is going to be number one. Watch.
Yeah, you watch. It's going to get a lot of views.
I know our following and my fans. When we talk this Hollywood shit, they go berserk. If we talk they don't care. If we talk religion, they could kill us. But the minute we start to open up about Hollywood and talk about what's this actor like and that actor, let me tell you something, John. We go out to how many millions of people?
A lot. We have 4 million that watch weekly.
We have 4 million people that watch us.
Congratulations.
Well, congratulations for you, because now 4 million people are going to.
Hopefully, I hope 4 million people go out and buy Twisty.
Only if John.
Yeah, hope so too.
Only if John makes money.
All right, we got to go though. So thank you so much, John.
Bye.
Bye bye. Thank you so much.
It
Bye
was
bye.
a pleasure. Bye, baby. Pleasure.
Yeah.
What
Everybody,
a nice guy.
isn't he?
What a nice guy.